Picture this, you're on a train, gliding through the picturesque Chiltern countryside, when suddenly the railway disappears into a sea of rubble. Sounds like a bad dream, right? Well, for commuters in Gerrards Cross 2005, it was almost their reality. On a seemingly ordinary Thursday evening, Tesco made headlines, but not for its "every little helps" slogan, but for dropping a supermarket onto a live railway. Welcome back to UKRailVids, where today we're talking about the Gerrards Cross tunnel collapse. This whole saga began when Railtrack and Tesco came up with the ambitious plan to put a Tesco supermarket on stilts, sort of. The idea was to tunnelise a section of the railway by covering up with a giant concrete arch, then pile on enough dirt on top to support the supermarket and its car park. Simple, right? The project relied on a design called the TechSpan system, which involved slotting together hundreds of precast concrete segments. It's like building with Lego, if your Lego set weighed 22 tonnes per piece and could potentially crush you and a whole train. Tesco's vision was bold, but not everyone shared their enthusiasm. Locals protested, engineers grumbled, and railway enthusiasts probably shook their heads muttering, "This will end well." Fast forward to the 1st of June 2005, just after 7:30 in the evening, just as commuters were wrapping up their day, the tunnel decided it had enough. A 30-metre section of the tunnel collapsed, sending thousands of tonnes of debris crashing onto the Chiltern main line below. Now here's when things get dicier. Two trains were just inches away from disaster. One driver noticed something wasn't quite right as his train left Gerrards Cross station and slammed on the brakes, stopping just short of the rubble from the tunnel. Another train was approaching Gerrards Cross tunnel at 55 to 6 miles an hour when the driver noticed he couldn't see through the tunnel and placed the train at a full emergency stop. Coming to a stop just 250 yards before the eastern entrance to the tunnel, Tesco got almost more customers than they bargained for. Thankfully, no one was hurt in the incident, but for a while, it looked like Gerrards Cross might make the evening news for all the wrong reasons. So what caused the collapse? Was it sabotage by Waitrose loyalists? Sadly, the truth was much less exciting. Bad backfill. The tunnel's design relied on equal amounts of dirt on all sides to keep the structure stable. Think of it like trying to balance a teetering cake. Pile too much ice on top, and you've got a mess. Here, the sides weren't filled up properly. While the crown was overloaded with fill, it was a recipe for disaster, and the collapse was just the final slice. To make matters worse, some of the materials used, like incinerator bottom ash, were lighter and less stable than the limestone originally planned. Engineers spotted alarming deflections in the structure weeks before the collapse, but apparently decided it was fine. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. After the collapse, the railway was closed for 7 weeks until the 22nd of August 2005, causing commuter chaos with a rail replacement bus service having to be run. The tunnel had to be redesigned, and 2 years later in 2007, work restarted on the tunnel. And then eventually, 5 years later than planned, Tesco opened their store, presumably with a bit less fanfare than planned. The incident cost millions in repairs and lost revenue, but it's also now an engineering case study in what not to do. And let's be honest, it's probably the only time a supermarket nearly became a railway terminus. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.